It is very difficult to be financially stressed and be the best leader that you can possibly be. So what does that mean? That means that we got to stop trying to look rich and we got to focus on the quality of leadership will come down to the quality of the questions that we ask ourselves. If we ask ourselves better questions, we will get better answers, which will lead to improvement in our leadership and improvement in our businesses. So how do we improve? How do we get better? Number one, do my people feel like they are a part of a winning team? Nobody wants to play for a losing team. Everyone wants to play for a winning team. So if your messages are constantly about, guys, we're behind, guys, we got to improve this, if it's constantly that, then your people are going to be like, man, I'm a part of a losing base shop. We're always behind. We're always losing. We're always like, nobody wants to be a part of that. So your ongoing message needs to be, we're on track to be number one. We're on fire right now. Things are exploding right now. Do my people feel like they're a part of a winning team, or do my people feel like they're a part of a losing team because of the language we're speaking? Look for an area of winning. Number two, am I aggressively attacking my weaknesses? Am I aggressively attacking my weaknesses? Guys, I got a lot of weaknesses. I'm not perfect, and I'm aggressively going after them right now. We all got to do that. So if we're hiding from the fact because we're like, you know what? No, we got to aggressively go attack our shortcomings. We got to aggressively go attack our weaknesses. We got to improve. We got to get better. Number three, who am I working with right now to turn into a winner? Who's my lock and go? Who am I aggressively and intentionally working with right now to turn into a winner? Every time you recruit somebody, I want you to think of their mind like Play-Doh. And you need to shape it and you need to mold it to have them think the way that you want them to think, to perform the way that you want them to perform. How do we want them thinking? Shape their mind. How do we want them performing? Shape their mind. What skill sets do we want them to have? Shape their skill sets. Matt, how do I shape their skill sets? I lock them in a room, I lock them on Zoom, and I say, we're not getting off this Zoom until you are perfect. Spend the time up front so you don't have to spend the time ever again. Make people bulletproof. Equip people. I'm going to turn all of you guys into financial assassins. Financial assassins, where there is not anything that can be thrown your way that you can't handle. Number four, am I intentionally personally developing every day? Intentionally. Can I be upfront with you? At one point last year, I got casual in my personal development. I was listening to audios to say that I listened to an audio. I was reading books to say that I read the book and I checked it off my list for the day. Oh, I did my personal development, check. But I wasn't sitting there intentionally soaking it in, trying to come back better. How many of you guys would agree on that? Like, you know what? I've been a little bit casual on my development. I haven't been like dissecting these books. I haven't been soaking in the audios. I haven't been trying to perfect my craft. I'm working 18-hour days. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And I haven't been working on my mind because I've been working on my business, not realizing that you don't know how to elevate your business until you work on your mind. We got to stop being so casual in our personal development and we got to get intentional. Number five, am I being smart with my money? If we are not being good with our money, then that means that we're stressed out. And if we are stressed out, I guarantee you we are not leading our people to the capacity in which we should be leading them. It is very difficult to be financially stressed and be the best leader that you can possibly be. So what does that mean? That means that we got to stop trying to look rich and we got to focus on being rich. I remember I was making about 400 grand a year, and a good buddy of mine started getting all these exotic cars and he was renting them out, whatever it is. And my keeping up with the Joneses kicked in me. And I got uncomfortable because he had nicer cars than me, but I was making more money than him. And I went to the dealerships and I started looking into Bentleys and G-Wagons. And I remember I go home, and this is the time where Allie's dad was living with us. And I tell him, I said, I think I'm going to get Allie a Bentley and me a G-Wagon. And he laughs. And he goes, how embarrassing. I said, what? He said, how embarrassing would it be to pull up to a house you don't own in a Bentley? He said, do you want to look rich or do you want to be rich? And I took that personal. In the last 4 years, we've bought and sold $24 million worth of real estate. I own $15 million in real estate right now, $9 million in equity. I just closed today on my lake house, 4 minutes from you, Yariv, because you can't be the only one that can have fun. So why do I tell you this? Because while everyone else was buying cars, I was stacking. I didn't buy my first Rolex until this year. People are like, Matt, what about that other Rolex? I bought it used with no papers for $5,000 and it didn't even tell time. And I did that straight up 5 years ago. I didn't buy my first Rolex until we crossed our $3 million ring. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong. But what I am saying is it gave me a lot of confidence because I had money. And so now I'm making financial decisions and I delayed things for a long time so that way I don't have to delay things anymore. Some of us are going to miss economic opportunities to grow and scale our business because we blew our money on something stupid, and that's why we didn't hire the new staff member. We blew our money on something stupid, and that's why we're not investing into funding our agents' leads division. Number 6, am I leading from the front? How's your personal game? Some of us, we were like, hey, I want my base shop to personally produce. They're looking at your numbers, and they're like, where is it? Me and Chris Knott had a great conversation the other day. He said, Matt, what did your personal look like throughout the years? He said, obviously, when I came into business, you transferred everything to Allie in order to get ready for GFI. He said, so you stopped personally producing. But what did it look like before that? I said, I did 250,000 personal points a year, every year, from the year I was coded, 7 years straight until I transferred things to Allie to get ready for GFI. I said, I was the master copy. I was field training my people. I was the one teaching them how to close. I was the one teaching them how to make money. I was teaching them how to get directs through doing it with them. Not by saying, go do it. I think some of us, we took on our EMD title and we're like, we're business owners. Go do it. How many people can I put to work? So that way we don't have to go work. What if you said, I'm going to stop trying to put people to work and I'm going to go show them how to work. I'm going to stop telling people to go make money and I'm going to show them how to make money. I'm going to stop telling people to master closing and I'm going to go show them how to close. Through our personal example. Number 7, am I working on my business as I am in my business? I think some of us were super aggressive about maybe working in our business, but we're not sitting back and being like, what is this metric? What is that metric? What is this metric? What is that metric? If there is not something that you are fixing right now in your base shop and or in your business, it's because you have no awareness that there's even something wrong, which means you're not paying attention to your business. Am I working on my business as much as I am in my business? What am I doing to make calculated adjustments to move the needle and scale and grow? Number 8, what am I normalizing? Matt, what do you mean by this? What are you making normal in your team? And here's a great example. I was meeting with one of our leaders the other day and amazing producer, crushing it, but their recruiting is very low. And one of the things that we talked about is the difference in what we normalize. I do a frontline meeting, an MD meeting every Wednesday morning outside of the hierarchy one I do on Fridays. And I say, give me good news. And he hops on and he starts talking about how good of a market he's now in. And I stopped him. I said, Mike, can I be upfront with you? He goes, yeah. I said, I expect you to be in a good market. That's not good news. That's normal. Anything less than being in a good market is unacceptable. That shouldn't be something that you highlight as good news, being in a good market. But why did I say that? Because I don't want to normalize that being something to celebrate. I want to normalize that as the standard. We are in good markets. That's how we roll. Number 9, have I assembled the right people around me to win bigger, better, and faster? Are you still a mom and pop or are you running a business? Have you assembled the right people around you? Matt, my people don't know how to sell annuities. Then hire someone and pay them $30,000 a year to teach your people how to sell annuities if you're not going to teach them. Like, have you assembled the right people around you to win bigger, better, and faster? And if the answer to that question is no, then no wonder your business isn't elevating. I'm bringing on the best of the best right now. That's all we're looking for, scanning for. If they're not the best, get rid of them. Number 10, am I speaking the language of momentum? I kind of talked on this regarding the language of being on a winning team. But if your people don't feel like they have momentum, that's a problem. Oh my gosh, we have so much momentum right now. Things are popping off. Families are being helped. Promotions are happening. Things are booming. Things are booming. And this is what starts to happen. You speaking about momentum is not what's going to create momentum. But what happens is when you speak about momentum, people are thinking about momentum. When people are thinking about momentum, they start taking actions towards creating momentum. Every thought you think sends a vibration through your body. That vibration sends you in a direction. So whatever we want our people to think about and whatever direction we want to move our people in, we need to consistently talk about that. If we speak about it, they're thinking about it. If they think about it, they move towards it. What dominates your thinking will determine the outcome of your life. Whatever you think about the most, you will move towards. So how about I control what you think about the most? And then I can point you in any direction that I want to point you.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.